Welcome to BTS, behind the scenes of being a teacher at GGIS. Yes, being a teacher requires a lot of skill, patience, and hard work. But what is it to be a teacher here? Find out more about it in the conversations that ensue. GGIS prides itself on the kind of educators that it works with. But honestly, the kind of people that we get to work with come after a rigorous interview process. If we were a college, our acceptance ratio would be less than 2%. But what happens once you make it? What happens once you join the team? What is it to be an educator in this vibrant place? To talk about that, we have with us today Shivani ma'am. Shivani ma'am is going to tell us about two wonderful processes that we have, which we go through with our teachers and which makes this place a beautiful place to be at. The first one being OKRs, Objectives and Key Results. So, Shivani ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me, what is an OKR and why do we as a school do it?
Okay. So an OKR is a process which we follow at GGIS in which we are looking at identifiable results.
Okay.
Results that we can measure and quantify.
Okay.
Just like you have targets in corporates and we have a list of things to do. Similarly at GGIS, each teacher writes their own set of objectives.
Okay.
And in those objectives, we also measure the key results that we want to achieve.
Could you give an example?
So, for example, a math teacher may have an OKR or a KR that specifically states that he would like his class to achieve an overall average of, say, 60% in the formative assessments, a minimum of 60%.
Okay.
He will try to structure all his engagements and learning activities in such a way that he is able to achieve those things. Again, this is time bound, so the teacher will have to review and go back to the OKR in the given time period that is assigned. This keeps all team members on their toes, including me, and we make it a point to go back and see where we stand in terms of performance.
True. So while she said that, one of the most interesting things that I find about OKRs is the end presentations. So that sort of builds in accountability, but it also gives me the autonomy to say what do I want to focus on. Because I've read a lot of teacher OKRs, and what I find fascinating is sometimes the objective is to reach out to parents, to make sure that all my children are heard. Now that as an objective changes the perspective, because otherwise we are so wired to look at only that which can be shown to a third party.
Absolutely.
Well, I think with the OKRs, what we've been able to do is we've been able to create the non-tangible and make it a little more tangible.
Absolutely, ma'am. And especially if that is not where your comfort zone or strength is. So for me to be able to push a teacher to communicate more and go beyond the regular and what he or she is comfortable with, OKRs definitely help.
True. So that is OKRs, a process that we have adopted from the IT industry, from the best of the corporates and all of that, and that's something that makes us work pretty fast. We move like clockwork. There's another process that brings us all closer, that makes sure that we are all heard and seen, and that is
our one-on-ones or our O3 meets.
Okay. So tell me about that.
So our O3 meets are scheduled, they're clocked in. They happen every fortnightly.
Okay.
That is that one specific sacred time that I have with the teacher, just to hear the teacher out.
Alright.
So
there's no feedback, nothing that you kind of give. It's just about the teacher coming and speaking about her.
So the teacher sets the agenda. The teacher sets all the points that he or she may want to share and discuss. It may also be a session of simply just sharing things that are happening in his or her own life. But it definitely helps us build a bridge and a connection.
Okay.
These O3 meets are very precious to me
Mm-hmm.
because that's when I get a sneak peek into my team's world,
Mm-hmm.
and I also understand the struggles and the victories that they are experiencing.
Absolutely. In this fast-paced world, what happens is very often I've seen we are so accustomed to assuming things for people, to
Yes.
believing that this is this way,
Yes.
until and unless we put our gadgets away, close the laptop and put the phone away and listen to the other person, it becomes impossible to function as a team.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, that's us talking about two wonderful processes that any school can adopt, any institution can start with, and believe me, it's a game changer. We are not the first ones to try it, but very few schools try it. And I urge all of you to give it a shot. And if you are a teacher who wants to be heard, who wants to do some great work, then you know where to reach out to us. Make sure you write to us at hr@theggis.com. More such talks coming up soon. Bye.
Bye.